no puzzle too deep, no dragon of doubt he cannot sweep. Crafting glory with every stride, the northern clans march at his side. Raise your horns and let them burn for the legend Captain Kearn. Warrior of pixels, master of flame, carving his saga, reclaiming his name. Stand as the fires of triumph return. Honor the might of Captain Kearn.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you.
Across the northern sky, where the storm winds churn, rides a legend carved in fire. They call him Captain Kearn, with the maker's hand and
Good afternoon, wifey. Good Luna Guardian. What's happening? Brad, what's going on, buddy? All of you new people out there, I am Captain Kearn, gamer turned maker. We are continuing the journey making our Voron V0. My very first Voron that we're going to actually end up attaching to the Voron PC. I know, crazy, right? You are, in fact, first, Luna, over on Twitch. We're going to give it just a minute here, let people filter in.
No puzzle too deep, no dragon of doubt he cannot sweep. Crafting glory with every stride, the northern clans march at his side.
Hope everybody's start of the week has been great. I know a few people have had some sketchy ones. Yeah, I hit that live button just a minute or two early. But I do have a question for everybody. Do you guys want to see me play games on stream again? What's up, Mac? How you doing, buddy? Besides the 3D printing and the building and all that, would you guys be interested in seeing me play games on stream again? Or maybe if I combine the two, live printing cams with games? I don't know. All right. Stand by. I need to get out of this. Let's go to this screen here. Ooh, look, there's an ugly dude on screen. Very ugly dude. God dang. How'd that ugly dude get on screen? Hi, everybody. Oh, yeah, coffee. It does the body good. What's up, Heidi? That guy makes. Welcome, buddy. What's going on, everybody? So I did a little bit of a bad thing. So, us makers, when we get into the zone, we build we start on a project on stream and we do a little bit of the boring stuff off stream. And then sometimes we get into the zone, right? And then we just don't stop. So we just don't stop, right? This was the result. Yeah, this was the result. Yeah, it's printing. What's up, Patrick? So it's not even close to being finished, by the way, but the V0 is in fact printing. It does print. Yeah. So we have a lot of work to do still. Still got, a lot to do on it. As you can tell, there was a lot of things we had to diagnose because Formbot does not, in fact, provide a manual for their actual build, which is substantially different from the LDO build or the FISAC build. That is my literal only complaint. It is a beautiful build. But there were some baggies that were mislabeled. It happens. Multitasking mod today. Oh, cool. Gotcha. By the way, everybody, if one of my mods could throw up the fourth wall merch link, I need everybody in chat, and I do mean everybody. Please go check it out. I worked so hard this weekend. I gave you guys 12 new shirts and a boatload of new merch to go look at. Holy smokes. And it is cool stuff. It is just sick new merch. God dang, Heidi, you were just on it today. But yeah, and I do appreciate that. We already had one merch order, and my jaw was like, one of the largest merch orders I've ever had. And I want to say thank you to that individual. I know who it was, and I'm like, thank you, and more thank you. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the V0. I don't have my NeoPixels. I don't have a controller for them because there are no spots in the Pico to actually plug them into. So I have to figure out a secondary MCU to control all these things. That won't be a problem when we put it onto the Voron PC because we're going to be using a much larger board. That said, we also need our chopstick lights on the very top. One on each side for the lighting down onto the bed. There's a lot of things we still need listed. Saw it listed in Discord. Perfect. I need money. Yes, I need money too. That's why I made the merch. I know. We are all in a situation, and I don't expect anybody to purchase anything. It's there. Just to let you guys know, I don't make much money off it. I set it like a couple of bucks above what cost is. It's there for the community, for you guys to enjoy. So if you can afford it, I do thank you. If you can't, no pressure. But anyway, so what we're going to do is start a quick print. There's still some calibration we need to do, but before that, we're going to do display calibration. We need to actually flash the V0 display because I didn't do that. So let me get into Pate. You need to stop breaking cars. Dude, cars, man. I love my cars. And I wish that I was in physical condition to where I could actually... Well, my wife would probably kill me because I would be spending money on printers. But, so here's something very cool, though. Here's something very cool. In the near future, I'm going to be doing giveaways with the merch. So consider that. Once we build up enough of the war fund as it is in the PayPal account, about once a month, I'm going to do a merch giveaway. Because that costs real money, and that is built in, and I can give away built into Twitch and YouTube, and I can actually do a giveaway for merch through Fourth Wall. So, yeah. I mean, I would still be doing my 3D printing and still be building printers, but just the fact that of putting a supercharger on an engine and making it go room room. Oh God, I missed that. Or turbo. You do both and you're a broke teen. Well, you're a teen, that's why. I'm almost 50 years old. I should be able to afford these things, but I can't. All right, so let's see. Step 1, connect the board to the Raspberry host. We've got that done. Step 2, depends on your board. It does not have firmware already flashed on it. We already know this. We need to install the boot jumper and reset the board. Okay, so that means we're going to turn this puppy upside down on its side so that I can see it. You guys won't be able to see it. And I actually need to go get some jumpers. Those are going to be in the box over here in the house. Because I need to be able to see them too. And don't look 50. Well, I appreciate that. I'm tiny on the screen. Well, I need to be tiny on the screen because then you see all my flaws. Now. So I guess the best way to do this is to actually pull this off. And then we can actually set it back up. Oops. Well, that's something for a magnet to find. Alrighty. 3.30 boot jumper. All right, so let's unplug it. So we put boot. And then we'll move this screen over here so you guys can see this as well. And actually, let's go to the programming display. That way it's bigger. You guys can see what I'm doing. And let's change the settings on this. Make the font a little bit bigger. There we are. Connect here. Okay, we are already connected. So we're going to go DFU dash util dash list. It is not in Streamlabs every 10 minutes. I thought I'd fix that. I will try to look at that in a minute. Okay, so this is apparently not what we are these are not the droids we are looking for. Man. I am looking on the back of this thing. Let's try it without it. I don't know. We'll find out, guys. Hey. Look. It found something, but it doesn't list it. Let's try it again. Okay, so apparently it's there. What's up, Mythic? How are ya? Hope you're doing well. All right, so now we need to actually build the actual firmware for this. So we're going to go into KOut. And you don't have to forgive me, this keyboard does not have arrow keys. It's a 60% keyboard, so it's a pain in the ass. Back. 1. All right, so what do we need? What do we need? We need enable Yeah. We're going to need to find another keyboard, which I happen to have right here. I need arrow keys for this. I hate doing this. It's got arrow keys, but it's got a weird function of how to do them. And I just don't like doing it that way. All right, here we go. Ah, yes, arrow keys are good. STM32 and processor of STM is a 042. No bootloader. Internal clock. What do we got for internal clock, y'all? Internal clock. Okay. Yeah, that's what we say. That's what we say here. All right. Everything's still working? Yeah. Okay. You guys can see me. I can see you. Now, PA9, PA10. Optional features to reduce code size. Ooh, dear God. So we need to uncheck this. Uncheck measuring fan tachometer. Uncheck all the ADXL crap. Uncheck this, uncheck this, uncheck this. Uncheck basically everything below this, apparently. All right. What's up, Pathetic Puma? How are you? Welcome. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. And we're going to go exit out of that. Wait, we're going to go back up here. Yep, we got that. Puma! Brad. We're just trying to get the screen on the V0 working as the first thing of the day here. Since I kind of jumped ahead. Now, there is one thing about the V0. The Forbot kit, the drag chain setup is a little bit wonky. So we're going to take a close look at that and see if we can't come up with a solution today. And we're going to go to flash. One regular flashing method. Make a flash. 3. What do you mean no MCUs found? Okay, we'll just try one then. Ah, there we are. And we're going to go to 1. Start the flash process. And we go to zoom, zoom, zoom. It says flash failed, but it didn't. Perfect. No way. Bro, what happened to your V0? Dude, that your V0 was sick. I have video of that thing, by the way. Okay, so we're gonna go back here. Just set reset button. Include V0 display config. Well, we're going to need to actually get the actual config. Mythic, thank you for the 100 biddies. Oh, dear Lord. So, we're going to open up this and we're going to paste this. So we have this. And it should be Klipper. It should not show this. So apparently the flash did fail. Huh. Let's do this again. So here's the thing. This is weird. So when we do a DFU list on this, it does not show us anything. Lewis, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Let's do it this way. Ha! It will do it in root. Okay, so we are now actually in. Yeah, okay. So that's fascinating. So let's just go back in. Oh, see, now it's showing. All right. Dragon's Gravy, what's happening? Print bed mount broke on the way home. Oh, dear Lord. Wow. What's up, RJ? I'm glad you got your internet back, bud. You've been having all sorts of internet issues. That sucks. All right, yank this off. Hit that reset. There we go. There we go. Now we've got it. So let's get rid of this. We need to go snag the V0 config. No. Isn't the config supposed to be in here? V0 simple config. There it is. V0 display config. Download. Machine. Upload file. Let's open it up here. What's up, LTX? How you doing, buddy? We still need to get together. I still need to talk to you about some stuff. Some stuff. And I don't want to restart just yet. V0 display.config. Go back to printer. Can't type. You're going to be cutting panels on Friday when you're up there. Here in Colorado? Really? Hey, look, guys. It works. It really, really works. I'm blind and I can't hardly see it, but it really, really works. So let's tip the printer back on its side and get that done. So we got first thing out of the way, and here we will turn this around, turn around every now and then. And then we'll go to the build cam. Zoom in a little bit. Look, the display works. It really, really works. Fancy. What's up, heathen? All right, so let's tip her back on her side and put her back in. Ugh. Here's the question: what did I do with the driver? I seem to have lost the nut driver. Oh, there it is. There's one. And there's two. So we have a V0 that is functioning and a screen. Excuse me a second, I got a cough. All right. Perfect, man. So as I said before, this thing is functioning. We do still have to do some calibration to it. It did not get a perfect first layer, which pisses me off. But then I also remembered that the V0, the stock V0, does not have, you know, a cartographer or any sort of bed level management system on it, bed tramming system or anything of that sort. This is an Ender 3 that's fancy. So I got to be real picky about how you actually get this thing set up. And I also realized that I also need to replace this cable with a right angle micro USB cable because I hate the fact that cable sticks out. But it's not going to be there for very long. So yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Nobody worry about me. Yeah, I've had a lot of coffee today, so don't worry about it. We're good. Why is this? Oh, yeah, I've been sitting down and I've got tracking turned off. There. Now it's not cutting my head off. So, yeah, we have panels that I need to talk to LTX about. Many panels. But yeah, this thing is sweet. So let me show you guys the problem with drag chain. Let's get the camera down here. This is going to be a bumpy ride, so forgive me, y'all. All right, that's as short as I can make it. So, you guys see this, right? Get this out. Yeah, get that out there. So you see where this mounts here, and then on the LDO kit, the drag chain mounts over here where my finger is. And yeah, right there, in the corner of the bed. Not on there. So in the Formbot kit, it mounts on the rail here. Well, the problem with doing that is you have your end stop right over here, and it mounts higher. So what was happening is when the bed would come down, this was actually higher than the end stop, and it would smash into the drag chain instead of the end stop, and it would not stop. So I had to pull it off. So I need a fun solution in order to do that. So, guys, got any suggestions? Because one, this thing it's not wanting to stay within the boundaries. And I'm just not sure how to deal with this. Anybody got ideas? I mean, we have some brilliant people in chat right now that have built V0s. And some of you are historic builders. Well, thank you, Heathen. What are we figuring out? We are trying to figure out how to fix this drag chain issue. You know, because the hole for the drag chain is right next to the rail, right there. And it's kind of hard to see because of the lighting. See if I can get a better view on it. So right there, instead of being over here in the corner where the LDO kit is. I verified all this morning. I went and looked up the LDO manual, and I looked at a few pictures. And what, you know, like I said, what happens is the actual mount. I had to pull the mount off of here. When you have this mounted up as pictured, because there are no instructions, by the way, this sits right up here, and it just smacks straight into it, and it's higher than the actual Z end stop. So the Z end stop is kind of worthless at that point, and you end up losing about 20 millimeters of Z height. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how I should fix this. You did the printed drag chain, mounted it to the right Z extrusion in the form bot kit you built. So yeah, that's what this is, the right Z extrusion. But the printed drag chain, that actually might make more sense because this drag chain is stupidly stiff. And I've got the Kirigami bed. I'm thinking I may end up having to cut the wires as well and use Wagos and bring them underneath the bed as well, because this is just, everything is just so stiff. I mean, this does not want to move. I mean, that is like really, really stiff. See, it makes more sense to have it over in the corner because then you actually have more space for it to move up and down, and the drag chain stays straighter. See, if you look at that, that stays straighter, especially when you have the enclosure on it. That when you do it this way, it's at an angle. So it's one of the things that I'm just trying to figure out. And by the way, I got damn lucky, you all, because 12 links plus the 2 ends. Perfect. Let me note that. Because I actually have the files for the printed drag chain. I was thinking about that earlier today. So, and for those of you that are unfamiliar with how all this is going to go, first thing I need to do is we're going to unplug it, turn it off, unplug it. So, Puma, you're familiar with Alan Mandick's Voron PC, right? You are. Okay. So let me do this and let me turn off some stuff. So we have full screen. There we are. So we have a Voron PC. Now, the problem is, and I built this, and it's technically half built because I'm waiting on stuff, right? I started building this on stream, and I'm like, there's a problem. And I love Alan, right? Alan's a great guy. I have a problem, though. You can't build a Voron PC without a Voron. You just engraved your, oh my God, dude, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. I've been catting this up for the last couple of months. Oh, no. Bot, don't you do this. All right, stand by. I'm gonna fix something. Puma, hold on. There. Put them up, post whatever you want. All right. Moment, you're going to love this. Now, mind you, I have been designing skirts and everything else, but just use your imagination with a top hat and everything that matches everything. Yeah. This is where I'm going with this. This is the whole reason for this purchase and this build. There will be no Raspberry Pi. There will be no Pico. As a matter of fact, let's I don't even have enough stuff to actually put up here to show this properly. Do I? Maybe. Let's try. So I don't have to actually hold it up. Oh, that's almost perfect. So, yeah. I will be attaching my drag chains are on backwards. I've tried them different directions. So this is the direction I'm going right now. I do understand that, yeah. But the whole purpose was of building this V0 was I'm going to be attaching it to the Voron PC. And I've built an entire set of bottom skirts and a brand new top hat system. This whole entire top hat from here all the way over comes up with pneumatic hinges. Right here is inside. Right here is where the spool holder is. Spool. Slides right down there. It also acts as a chamber, as a heater for the spool. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But it's fun. You know, there's a lot of CAD work still to do to make it look right, because obviously 2020 and 1515 extrusions don't look right together. So there's actually a spacer that'll go right in between to give them a little bit of a distance there that will merge them together. So, but yeah, that's the whole plan of this. And then I plan on making it open source to where anybody can do it, and it's going to be as non-invasive as possible to be replicated. So the idea is build a jig, drill 6 holes total, and everything else is bolt on. we'll have to talk about that. I mean, aluminum mount brackets would be good. Printed would go also. But I've still got to design the spacers because I haven't quite got got those perfected to the way I want them. But what I'm referring to is the under bucket. And then everything in the bottom side of the Voron PC, right next to the power supply, we're separating that as a chamber. So you can mount the electronics box of your choice. Because you can get rid of the Pico and all this small electronics out of the V0 and go with something substantial. And this build, this is a Linux machine as it is. I'm running it straight off the PC. So definitely we'll talk in Discord, man. Get a hold of me in Discord. Let's talk, because I'm very interested in doing something fun with this. You know, there's also quite a few parts on this that are going to get reprinted, because I want it to be a showpiece for 2026. What's up, Raj? Because I will have a booth at Rocky Mountain next year, and this is going to be a centerpiece. But yeah, but for now, we're going to actually build it as a V0 and have some fun with it. But yes, you're absolutely right. The drag chain is currently on backwards. I did that intentionally because I was trying to find a way that it actually worked properly, and I couldn't find a way for it to work properly. So let's go grab coffee, because coffee is important. Coffee is life. Do I have those files out here for the V0? No, I don't. Let's go look on my server. Voron V0 STLs. Well, I have the drag chain spacer, but somehow I don't have the actual drag chain. Is that literally only on my other computer? Yay. You got to return to work? All right, have a good one. But yeah, I'm very interested in doing this as a showpiece. And then I'm going to build another one. After May ends, I'm going to see what the finances look like, if I can raise enough money on the channel, see what my YouTube and my Twitch paychecks look like. And we're going to... Why is my head cut off by this damn camera again? We're going to buy another one. And I'm going to build it off stream as an actual modding project one. But this one has a special, you know, a special thing. Remy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, my friend. Okay, so let me go look here. So while I'm doing that, what are y'all working on, by the way? Am I going to Murph? Right now, it's looking like probably no. The plans were yes, but my wife does have a surgical procedure on the 29th, and we don't know what her recovery is. So we are waiting to find out from the doctors. Family first, you know what I mean? There's still a possibility, but it'll be late tickets. That's going to cost a boatload of money. If I can go, I will be there. If not, next year. Now, if you were to ask me if I was going to 3D Printopia, the answer would be hell no. Puma, thank you for the sub, my friend. Okay, so and RJ, your box is actually going to be going out shortly. I've been filling it with all sorts of things. You're going to love it. I apologize for not getting it out last week, but with as crazy as last week was, I didn't have time to find everything I wanted to put in it. You bought a sponsor table at Murph again? Damn. Nitro TNT, thank you for the tip. I appreciate you. That is awesome. It goes a long way towards a lot of things. You know, workshop upgrades, travel plans. Goes to the literally just goes towards the general fund of everything here. Hey, RJ, I sat back and took a break this weekend. So I'm good, kind of. Somewhat, maybe. I think so. All right. So, okay. I see what you're, I see. I'm pretty sure what you were looking, which one you were looking at here. Yeah, got it. We got it. So we will start printing that drag chain after the stream here, and we'll start working on that. That I am not so concerned about because right now it's not hurting anything. But we have other things to do on this. We're not going to be putting the sides on this at all today. So, but I do want to show you guys this. I mean, granted, I had to undo some cable ties, but you know, not too bad of a cabling job. I'm still not quite happy with it. We're going to be putting, you know, shortening some cables up, you know, while it's on the ground as a V0 instead of, you know, up in the air on a PC. But yeah, not too bad indeed. I am not happy. This is the one thing I'm not happy about is the big Tree Tech Pi. It is literally the same as the CB1 in processor specs, and not so happy with that. The CB1, well, and I don't want to insult Big Tree Tech because I love all of their products except for the CB1. It's garbage. It's slow. it's clunky, and it's garbage. I just can't. And then the price of the CB2 is higher priced than a Pi 4, an orange Pi 4. So I don't understand why they believe that they are the cream of the crop. That makes zero sense to me when you can buy a CM4 with 4 gigs of RAM and a 32 gig eMMC cheaper than you can a CB2. That makes zero sense to me whatsoever. And the CM4 will literally fit in any of the Manta series machines or on any of the adapter boards. So I have no idea why that happens. The pricing structure of all the single board computers, all the Pi systems, really kind of just bugs the snot out of me. So now, here's a question. Here's a question for you guys. Since we're doing this, oops. Oh, come on here. Oh, great. These all decide to fall off when I'm actually trying to do something. And I do believe I'm going to have to reprint these because it just doesn't match the color configuration. But when we get done, should we mount the 3MS on the back of the Voron PC as well? Obviously, we're going to end up putting different motors and extruder setups on it. At that point, we'll just build another 3MS. But should we put a 3MS on the back of the Voron PC? A 4-color system on the literally just hanging off the back of the Voron PC, just for fun. Because we plan on switching it over to a tool head that can handle cutter. And I mean, it seems if we're going to be going ridiculous on this V0 as it is, and it's a 120 by 120 build plate, but why not? We could do multicolor miniatures. Pandora gantry. Oh, that's actually really good. Yeah, that's actually valuable information. Thanks for the tip. Thanks for that tip, yeah. And it's not something I have to consider now, but it's something to consider in the future. You know, there's so many things that we can do once we have it mounted. And I'm just sitting here going, there's a lot. So going through the Voron ecosystem has been eye-opening to me, I would say. Because I've been building modified Enders, you know, for a couple of years now. And an example, you know, the Do Ender sitting back here. I love this machine now. It took me 9 months to build it because there, you know, at the time there wasn't a lot of, you know, full-scale documentation, and it was just trial and error. And right now I've got the Dragon burners torn apart because I had a hot end failure. Common 3D printing issue. It's not a machine problem. But I finally got it printing beautifully. And I'm like, you know what? I love doing custom things like that. But then I look at the Voron ecosystem and I'm like, God, there's so much more. Just this one little printer, there are thousands of mods just for this little printer. And there are so many people out there that are willing to help you build new ones because they've already done a mod for it, and they can tell you the if and the in and outs of what might happen if you do a certain thing. Literally Pandora's box. Yeah. Let me copy that link real quick. One of the downsides of actually having GitHub installed on your PC. And ladies and gentlemen, Alex has showed up in chat. Let's see. Let's take a look at this on screen with everybody. Yeah, full Pandora's box is quite a bit different. I've been looking into them. Interesting. Okay, okay. I see what he's done there. Yep, 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 yep. Cool. Very cool. So yeah, perfect. We'll throw that over into the Voron folder. But let's do this. So for now, let's put the printer aside and actually build the top hat for it, because every printer needs a hat. I mean, even my Ender 6 has a hat. Speaking of which, I'm going to start building the bomb for the Ender 6 camera. What are you doing? I didn't move, but the camera did. There we are. I'm going to be building the bomb for the Ender 6 conversion to Trident. And that's going to be fun. I found a couple of individuals that have already done this, and there's no official project really for this. It's just a bunch of people that have done it, right? And they've been giving me what they have used to do it. So I've got this monster Ender 6 up here, 300, and apparently I can get pretty darn close to a 350 out of that frame. So according to everything that I've read, a lot of people have done 350s, but it's real tight. 330 is more like it. So if I can even just do the standard 300, I will be happy. So we've got a bit more to talk about on that, and a bit more to do. But by the end of summer, I hope to have everything ready to do a fall project on that. That's going to be great. And then we have the Ender 5 that is going Mercury 1. That one's going to be super simple because the Mercury 1 project already exists, and there is huge support for that. like I said, I play with enders a lot, right? And then, speaking of, we're going to be taking one of the Ender 3 Max Neos and making it an Ender wire. Because why not? It's a 320 bed already, so. And I have pretty much everything to do it with. Dear Lord, what are you guys fighting about in chat? My gosh, guys. Holy moly. All right, so let's open up the manual right here. And before I do that, guys, give me just a minute. I'm going to go off screen. I got to take a quick break. And we'll throw some music up, and hopefully today it won't auto repeat. That just is stupid. Here, we'll actually not do the normal music. We're going to do something fun. We'll do some of my truck driving songs I made.
We're rolling down this highway, got miles left to go, but my heart feels heavier, more than you'll ever know.
No, we're not doing that. That's too slow. Too damn slow. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Well, it was good to see Pathetic Puma come into the chat, and I appreciate him being here. Turn the cam back on. All right, so we really didn't get anything done for the first hour and 15 minutes of the stream. But that's all right. So let's take a look at the V0 manual here. Let's open up the manual again. Guys, let me know if the music's too loud. We're going to go down here to the top hat, wherever the top hat section is. Is there a top hat section? That's a good question. I don't know. Come to think of it, I don't remember seeing a top hat section. So I've always thought about this reverse Bowden tube. This is a really long, with a 90-degree turn here. This cannot be good for filament. That's a lot of stretch for filament. A lot of friction. Ah, top hat. There we are. So we need 4 and 4 of each of these, which should be the last of what we have in terms of extrusion. What's up, Amber? How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. This is odd. Huh. Give me a momento, guys. We are. Oh, there they are. Getting in the back. So we have 4 and 4. We are making the top hat for the V0. And we need M3 by 10, which is going to be fun because these screws got completely dumped over. M3 by 12. There we are. M3 by 10. And we're going to have to just scrounge through these because some of them just got mixed in, which is all right. And then we'll have to preload some nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you are. All right, so let's grab some nut holders here. Like I said earlier in the stream, this workshop is a total disaster. I do need to spend like all day tomorrow just See if I can convince Wifey to come out here and help me organize, because it's just, yeah. I've neglected organizing. My bad. V02. Give me a moment and I'll show you the V02. Two M3s and two M3s, top and bottom. And you know what? It should tell you to do this before you put the screws in the end, because it's damn near impossible to do this beforehand or afterwards. Yeah, this is a FormBot kit, by the way. It's not the LDO kit, which is, it's a bit different. Not saying it's bad or worse, it's just different. This is the fourth video in the series. And we're doing things a little bit out of order because I can. Now, and we only need these on two sides, not three. So, oh dear God. Does anybody else have those neighbors? So this needs to happen on all four of them. Okay. Just going to be sure. Just being sure. Might as well just do the nuts first. And the new node drops that I printed are the 10mm mods. And what I'm going to do after this build is up, I'm going to be throwing this up on my GitHub with all of the different mods that I personally have used and the different STLs and an explanation of why I use them. The standard 12mm ones, they do go into the extrusions, but they're a little bit rough. You really have to press them in kind of hard, which is a good thing in some circumstances. But not so good in others. And it hurts, you know, if you have arthritis, it really hurts to actually use them. I'm just glad it's not playing the same song over and over. I don't know about y'all, but that was getting irritating. Three streams in a row? And for those of you that were telling me I should have printed a Steve's build tray, yes, it is printing inside the house on the Flash Forge. Or it should have been. I don't know if it still is or not. I started it before I came out here, so. But I had to do my own custom one, you know, with my logo on it, so. Yeah. It might be stuck at the later shift right now because it's not a multicolor printer. Okay, yeah, sit down. Back starting to kick my butt. Okay, we got those done. That is accomplished. That is not the right length screw. Next! Range access. What on God's name was that? There was like an explosion outside. And whenever you guys are putting together, that was another one. These, you know, putting. What the hell's going on? Whenever you guys are doing stuff like this with these lightweight aluminum extrusions, too many ugga-duggas is a bad thing. Now, here's the question. It does not say what orientation these go. So I'm assuming 2 drop nuts on the top, 2 drop nuts on the outside. Because it really doesn't say. Stand by, everybody. Okay, so one of my neighbors down the street has one of those giant 16-yard dumpsters, and they're throwing huge things of concrete into it, and it's empty currently. So that is apparently what's going on. Yeah, it's extraordinarily loud and it echoes in this building a bit. So outside. And then after we get this together, we'll take the square to it and make sure it's at least somewhat square. And adjust as needed. What's up, FND? All right. Where did I put my square? I just moved it a minute ago. This is the reason I need to clean this workshop. Damn. This is redonkulous, guys. Completely redonkulous. I cannot find anything. I can already tell that it's not square. And some people go, well, it's the top hat, man. It don't matter. It does matter. To me, it matters. Not that I'm a perfectionist or anything, because I am far from it. Anymore, I am. But I do like things to be, you know, oh, there it is right there. As close as I can. Well, that one's dead nuts on. So is that. So is that. And so is that. So is that. Okay. It may be the table that's off. Apparently gets the table to talk, guys. Because my little machinist square says it's square. All right. Check your work. Extrusion top hat. So we got to find the piece that goes to the top. All right. The fun part is none of these are labeled either. So that's not it. It looks like we have a wiener. Maybe. Oh no, that's cutting it pretty close. We have 3 of them that are exactly the same size, it looks like. But they might be off by just a little bit. That's not it. So that's going to be a side panel. That's a side panel. That's a door. That's a back. No, that's a door. So this must be it. We used to just lose everything. Okay, so now we gotta go get our corner pieces, which I randomly threw over here. So let me grab a 3 mil drill bit and ream this out just a little bit. Get these screw holes cleaned up just a tad. You gotta go? All right, buddy. Appreciate you. Be safe in the rain. That's not the right one. What in the hell was that? There's a bird on the roof. There are so many pieces to the sides and everything for this. All right, so we need M3x8 screws. Look at that. Don't that purple look sick? So in case you guys need a reminder, all of the filament for this is done by my filament sponsor, Central 3D Printing, central3dprinting.com. Head on over there and see what all sorts of goodies he has to offer, because he has a lot of fun stuff, guys. From Nevermores to filament to all the good stuff. Speaking of which, I got to get a hold of him because I'm expecting a Nevermore for the V0 to show up here shortly. Find out if that's been shipped out. Kit for that. This is a very tight fit. Well, that just popped right on out. You know, the funny part is about this song is it was written in when I wrote the lyrics for this. It was about 2 years ago. It was intended for an entirely different purpose, but it so matters so much right now in the maker community because of all the stupid legislation. The ridiculousness that is going on across the country with, you know, the hate on 3D printing. Feels like it's lifted, but it's not. Oh, we are missing one. I thought we had all four. Right here. But it's one of the reasons that I did a bunch of the merch that I did, is to raise awareness of what's going on, because, you know, how soon does this start affecting stupid things, you know, like cry-cut machines and if it doesn't actually already affect those, because those are an additive manufacturing machine or a subtractive manufacturing for that, you know. Don't those technically take something similar to a G-code file? And voila, the top panel is on. The heat is on the street. Dragon Scripting, I know it's ridiculous. I want a soda. Well, yeah, well, you're going to have to put your information in your Samsung and LG refrigerator now. Give me a break. Okay. I'm still working. We're still going to be here. I'm just going off screen. Oh, Jesus. I got to do some stretches. Okay, the back popped really bad, that one. And you know, it's not about the pew-pews or anything like that. This is all about education for me. You know, we're going to be, if the legislation keeps up as it is, there's an entire generation out there that's going to be losing out on opportunities. You know, STEM is going to go away completely. They're going to be discouraging all these children from doing all these cool things. Building a robot. You know, the whole robotics and aerospace industry is just going to die. It is such a sad thing. So did anybody see anywhere in here where it told us to preload M3 nuts in the side? No, it did not. Nowhere did it say to preload anything in these side panels. It does. So there's a critical step that was missed, apparently, in the manual about preloading M3 nuts in these side extrusions. And we actually may not have enough printed for this. I'm not sure. So it's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Some of the bigger ones. Didn't have too many of those left. So let me do this. Let me grab a handful of empty nuts. We've been using empty nuts like crazy. Okay. And believe it or not, I actually do have a porch tray. I just haven't been using it. It's got other crap in it right now. So, yeah. Yeah, they've been trying to get rid of STEM and critical and logical thinking. And I don't understand. You know, it's just, it's horrible. You know? These kids deserve better. So, set the acrylic off here. Is this even my playlist playing right now? Nope, it's not. Hopefully I don't get copy struck for that. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I know. The whole Common Core thing teaches you to apply emotion to math problems, and math is the one thing in the world you cannot you can't apply emotion to. It's the very basis of all scientific method. What's up, John Doe? How you doing, buddy? We're just continuing on the Voron build. We're putting together the top hat right now. I didn't get that nut totally square in there, so it's going to give me fits. There we go. Absolutely, everybody needs to go sub to John Doe's YouTube. Get the mouse out of the way. Let's get this panel installed. Maybe. If I don't decide to just drop the damn thing. This this is odd. This is not the right one. It's the ones that have that's not the right ones either. So these have specific shapes in them. There we go. That's the right one. No, that's not the right one. There are so many of these pieces, y'all. It's a straight angle cut. And these are all bevel cuts. So I'm a little confused here. Yeah, this doesn't even get on. The holes don't line up with the rail itself at all on that. This one does. So that one must be it. All right. So we need to find the other one identical to it and put it on the opposite side. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, everybody else is, you know, in the world, and I'm happy for everybody that is actually getting, you know, some more positivity in their diagnoses. I went to my spinal surgeon, and he told me I'm fucked. Literally, pain management is the only thing left in my world, which I kind of knew. There we go. So we use these little ones on the bottom. Yeah, my doctor told me literally that all my doctors in the past messed me up. And there's no coming back from it. So, I'm perma-screwed. And that's even in his notes, no less. My doctor apparently was quite shocked when he finally read it from what I was informed. So when you're doing stuff like this with acrylic, you do not want to over tighten because you can crack the acrylic. Get 'em! What's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, my camera's off right now because I keep having to go back and forth, but how you doing, man? Here, let's turn the camera back on. And, of course, I'm out of frame. Meow. Ladies and gentlemen, Get 'em is one of my longtime old gaming buddies. Doing all right? I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Just building 3D printers. Doing what we do. Playing a little Dune on occasion when I get time. I hear there's a huge server shutdown and migration happening soon. Not really looking forward to any of that nonsense. We are currently building the top hat for a Voron V0. Do I play PUBG? God, no. I haven't played PUBG in 6-8 months. They kind of ruined the game, you know? I don't really play many games anymore. Don't have a lot of time for it. Spend most of my time doing this stuff. Maker content, buddy. This is what I do most of my time anymore. 3D printing and building 3D printers. Nope. New World's dead to me as well. No, let Sleeping Beast die, is what I say. It's really too bad. That game finally had its potential realized, and then 2 weeks later, they shut it down. Shows the intelligence level of Amazon top leadership, right? There were some folks that we all know that were talking about doing a last hurrah get together, and I'm just not sure I want to even bother, because everybody split servers, and you know, none of our characters are on the same places anymore. Well, there's another one for the magnet. Come on. What on earth? There we go. Grab the next one. 2 hour mark. Yeah, time to start. I am standing and stretching. I've been standing up for the last 40 minutes. Can't hardly sit on that stool anymore. It kills me. I need a new stool. That thing is just like, it breaks my back. My feet are about ready to kill me, though. We got about 20 minutes left in my legs before they give out. Hang on, hang on. I think I might have... No. That is the only... the last piece that I have. I've got these. I don't have any that go left, though. That one goes on with VHB tape. I think I may have shorted myself. May have to replace this one. It's not the right piece. It doesn't match. It'll go on for now, but I'll have to replace it later. Yeah, that's why I've been turning the camera off so I can do my stretches and stuff, because I don't like doing those in front of you guys. It's not a pretty sight. All right, we got 2 out of 3 panels done. And by the way, everybody, we had a torrential rains last week, the end of last week. And so I ended up having to order a couple of gallons of elastomeric coating. We're actually going to be painting the roof with white elastomeric coating, which one will lower the temperature in here dramatically during the summer. And 2, it'll make this place watertight, because it is not currently watertight, we found out. In a bad way. So I do have an issue. I have too many right-hand pieces and not enough left-hand pieces. That is just my luck. Because that is the wrong piece altogether for this. And this one, I actually need to put the hinges on. Actually, it was the last one I need to put the hinges on. But that's an easy thing to do. So we've actually reached a stopping point, everybody. But for those that joined and haven't seen the printer, let me move this stuff out of the way. And we'll set this over here. The V0 is a tiny little printer. Let's get the manual out of the way as well. And it is currently fully functional. Yeah, that would be the coating, 2 gallons of coating. But yeah, that's the Voron V0. And this top hat, when completed, sits right up here. And then there's a door. Well, let's put it this way. The door goes right here. So yeah. Pretty nifty little thing. It is. But I do appreciate everybody stopping by today. Let's go see if there's anybody that we can send y'all over to. Well, I am not seeing anybody over on Twitch. And I'm not seeing anybody currently live on YouTube. So, with that, we're just going to call it a day. But we will be back on Thursday. So we'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for being here. And Captain loves you. Peace out.